Hello? Alright, cool. I literally just hooked this up. I have no drivers and stuff installed. I'm on a new PC. It's not new. An older PC of mine, just to kind of see what happens with frames and stuff. I'm shocked we're not dropping any frames. Like, that's kind of insane. Um, yeah, that's cool. So I'm just gonna install this. My microphone might stop working. Man, this computer is loud. I don't even think I have Discord on this computer. I just realized that I might need to install that. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just setting up a different computer because when I go off to college, I'm going to need a new computer or a different computer because my current Windows computer is too heavy. Um, Wait a second. Mic still working? Yeah. Alright, cool. I am only on one monitor today, which really sucks because the GPU is really bad. Oh, mic still works. Watch me have to sign in to something because I do not know my Logitech information if there is an account. Anywho, we were installing Discord Canary. Here it is. Hi. All right, we're back. Cool. Yeah, I said the mic was gonna go out. It did. Got Discord running, which is nice. So that's cool. Hey, it says it's streaming, even though it's YouTube. Interesting. Let's get my second account up here. I think that's my password. Yeah, no. There we go. Now we can switch. So I wanted to have a streaming PC for things like watching directs and yada yada. And this one is honestly seemingly going fine. At least to the stream, it seems to be okay, which is really shocking. Um, this computer, here, let's show you Task Manager. I'm just using this as my primary display. It is a bit of an overkill display. Like, I'm running at 90 hertz instead of the full 160, which sucks, but where's Task Manager? So, I haven't actually checked Task Manager in a hot minute. CPU performance is kind of high. We have the i7 7700s at 3.6 gigahertz. It's pretty fine. It's a 4-core, 8-thread CPU. Um, yeah, it has its stock cooler on it, and it is very noticeable. Like, that is so loud. It's insane. For memory, we have 16 gigs of memory, but it's running at 2133 megahertz of a speed, which kind of sucks. There is no 4 slots on this computer. I don't know why it says that's 4 down here, but there isn't. We have a 1 terabyte SSD in the computer, which is pretty nice. It used to be like 512 gigs, but because it says, just a random one I had, just used it. And then we have a 1060 3 gigabyte. Youch. Um, yeah, it's really eating up the memory right now. But I'm kind of shocked at its utilization being super low. because this isn't the greatest GPU. When it comes to streaming, though, a couple of things that I'll lose out on is well, one thing is I've always had an issue when it comes to streaming on this computer. It seems to be okay-ish. I did drop a frame, but that was literally one frame, so that's cool. Um, I will miss out on a few things. My capture card will not work in this computer. Um, since it's actually blowing out cool air, which is shocking. It's not like hot air. It's fine. Um, I will not. I can't use my normal capture card because it's a PCIe capture card, which will not fit in this computer if I remember correctly. Um, so that sucks. Another thing is just gaming on this big computer is a literal joke because of that 1063 gigabyte. This will literally be like a streaming PC. Honestly, this is a good like. I don't know. I might start using this computer for streaming if I could. It just needs some upgrades. Like it needs a new motherboard, which is where Windows holds its license, which is a big problem. Um, because the motherboard can't support, doesn't have two PCIe slots on it. And literally it seems fine other than that. Why is the taskbar showing up? Did Windows just quit on me or something? What? The taskbar just reappeared. I have it set to be hidden, so. But okay. Yeah. One, two, three, four. So yeah, that's the whole spiel here. Let's go and to NVIDIA. Oh, RTX GPUs are required for video broadcast. Yeah, I don't have that on this computer. Yeah. I don't have NVIDIA broadcast because this is not an RTX card. This is a GTX card, unfortunately. It did spike earlier in the copy and video decode, so that probably is why we have a frame drop. Yeah. Nonetheless, I'm here. It's semi working, I think. Yeah, that looks like it's working. Probably dropped a frame doing that. No. Let's see how the stream's coming out. I don't have audio because it's in my second monitor, which is not this one. Oof, what is this? 360p? Yeesh. Oh, we're about to get streamception. It looks fine. I feel like there's nothing to write home about, but it's fine. I mean, this is a 1080p 60 stream. 9,000 bitrate is pretty good. I am generally surprised. Yeah. Let's go into Live Manager and see what it's saying. Content. Live. Where do we go here? I just want to see what this is saying about the stream. Nothing, I think. Yeah, seems fine. Yeah, if we go to YouTube's bitrate settings, which one is it? This one, I think. 1080p 60. The highest it wants is a 9,000 kilobytes per second. So you could do like 13K for 1440p kinda ish, but you know, not the greatest idea. So the big thing I wanted to do with OBS is just try to watch a direct and have face cam. I can't plug in my camera, but it sounds like it would work just fine. I do not have desktop audio. Let me go ahead and add that, even though I won't hear anything. Yeah. Let's see this one. You should be able to hear. Oh wait, it does go through my. Hang on. Yeah, I can get desktop audio. Audio, here, boom. Yeah. Oh yeah, I should set like an audio monitoring device now that we're here. To this one. I don't believe anything will be doing that yet, but yeah. And then if we go here, advanced audio layout. I personally like my desktop audio. I like everything in track 1, and then track 2 will keep this, and then track 3 will have that, and then we'll just unclick everything else. That's like a pure example of what I like to do for editing, just to keep it simple. Um, yeah. Then if we go to recording, we need to make sure that we're grabbing all the tracks. It's not selected, obviously, but in the future, I'll change that. And I don't have any names for tracks here, which kind of sucks. But yeah, 1080p, H.264, the new NVIDIA encoder though. CBR 9000 bitrate, 2 keyframe, presets quality. Might bump up the max quality, honestly, because this is going pretty well. Let's give it a shot. How about that? Boom. Are we gonna drop frames? It's like, we'll see. It might not work like immediately though, but hey, it works. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna like play. Oh, stream going up here. We're gonna do a direct. We're gonna watch. Man, the one monitor life, huh? Wow, that's it. All right, cool. Normally I'd have a bit better of like a view, but oh well. Let me go grab headphones. I could hook in the Xbox dongle and use my headphones. That would be a good idea. Let me do that. Because the Xbox dongles are right in front of me. I also don't have my I don't have my like USB hub hooked in. But yeah. That would be a necessity once I go off to college. I can't game on this computer. I probably could if I wanted to, but like, it's not a good gaming computer. I'm just gonna assume it works. Bruh, turn on my Xbox. See if it works. I don't see Xbox headphones. No, it wouldn't be here, would it be? Yeah, it would be. Does this USB port like not work? Hang on. Is the mic still working? Yeah, it is. Huh. Weird. So why doesn't the Xbox dongle work? Maybe it has to be hooked in to the back of the computer. Oh, whoopsie. I can unplug the Wi-Fi. That's okay, because we're running on Ethernet right now. I just realized. I'm gonna plug in the Wi-Fi on the top. Just to like be safe. Oh, now it works. Alright, yep, my headphones are here. Oh, it crashed. Whoops. And we dropped the frame. That is really loud. Hang on, let's turn this down a bit. And then, settings, sound, click on the headphones, enhance audio, I guess. And I want to use Dolby Atmos. There we go. Alright. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and boot up like Nintendo Direct. And we'll watch. We need a Splatoon Direct. How about we watch I don't know. This one.
there. We of the Squid Research Lab have returned to present our latest findings.
it's a
So,
little weird.
buckle up and keep your tentacles inside the vehicle at all times.
Why is this up here? This thing. Here, let's reset this.
It's been 2 years since that fateful day when the inkling squid species hooked me with its amazing abilities.
What
To
happens if I
shoot
click?
ink in humanoid form and to swim through ink in squid form. From these goopy depths, a radical squid culture has emerged. Inklings have developed a taste for combat and competition, not to mention fashion. The ceremonial turf war is one such sport, in which 2 squid squads of 4 face off to see which team can cover the most turf with ink. This popular tradition isn't going anywhere, which remains as popular as ranked battle, where the very best teams and players compete online to achieve a higher rank and ultimate bragging rights.
Wait, not so split.
Here in Inkopolis Square, Inklings prepare for ritualistic face splatting by equipping gear and weaponry. But it's not all doom and gloom. All squid gear is designed for both function and fashion. In fact,
Let me
everything
talk real
about
quick.
Inkopolis
Oh, yeah,
looks
this needs to go down a lot.
like the foremost happening place in the world.
Is this
You
better?
can see
Kinda ish.
Communal
That could be
aspects of
turned up a
human
bit more.
society are greatly valued, but so is individual expression. Nice shoes. Like other cephalopods, inklings can even choose their skin and eye color. But unlike regular squids, they have custom hairstyles and leg wear too.
Look at that, man.
The various clothing and shoes the squids are wearing is actually
Why isn't it
called
booting?
gear and has important roles in these battles too. Both looking good and good abilities are needed to
I'll
be
just do it.
fashionable.
Oh,
Let's take a
Oh,
look
no.
at some gear.
isn't there like a gain setting on here?
It takes more
Yeah.
than style
So
to
let's
win a
see
turf
here.
war.
This is all the way
Right
down.
away, the
Let's turn this
Galleria
up a
over
little
on the
bit.
left houses a row of
Is this
photos
good? Oh, that is loud. Hang on. Right about
item you acquire here has
right about
more
here should be
abilities
good.
that should be
I think.
effective in battle.
If I get loud though,
Take a look
yeah, that's what we want.
shall we?
There we go.
This is the headwear shop. Headspace. Got fashion on the brain? So does Flo. From hats to
Oof.
glasses, this sea slug carries it all.
Audio is a little weird on my side, but it works.
Though I must say, she's a bit of an
But
odd one.
here.
Inklings like to think of her as their crazy old aunt. Ye Old Cloth Shop is a clothing boutique run by a jellyfish named Gelfonzo. Unlike most jellyfish, he can speak the Inkling language. But it's almost as if he learned to speak Inkling by reading ancient Inkling literature. His strange manner of speaking aside, the young squids of Inkopolis are crazy about his wares. Next up, the shoe shop, Shella Fresh. They have all kinds of footwear here. Sneakers, sandals, boots, you name it. And might I add that Bisk is the least crabby spider crab I've ever met. He's got an air of experience, and he's a pretty chill guy to boot.
That was weird. The audio
Last
glitch on my
but
side.
not
You
least,
probably didn't hear
let's
it.
hit up the weapon shop, Ammo Knights.
There
You
should
may
be like a
recognize
mouse
the
thing.
horseshoe crab who
Yeah.
runs the place. Sheldon has a gift for weapon design, and his uncanny ability to blather on about ink weaponry is second to none. Now, I know what you're thinking. If only you could tune out his weapon dissertations with the press of a button. Well, now you can. Sheldon's really outdone himself. I can't wait to study these weapons in greater detail. To start, weapons come in sets of 3. A main weapon, a sub-weapon, and a special weapon. Let's examine some main weapons first. Your standard shooters are great for both splatting opponents and inking turf. There are many different types of shooters to choose from. Rollers are adept at inking turf
Yeah, the
quickly
bops.
and devastating at close range. They can steamroll opponents while rolling along the ground, or they can fling a wall of ink to keep opponents at bay. Chargers are long-range weapons well suited for sniping distant foes. They
Oh,
have
whoa.
a long and narrow ink trajectory, which is ideal for creating ink lanes
yeah,
that your
they're at
team can
50.
quickly swim through. but they're generally pretty slow at inking turf.
It's a little weird.
Splatling cannons, like chargers, have to be charged up before unleashing a torrent of ink. But what a torrent it is! They're slow, though, and the long charging time leaves you vulnerable. Sloshers may be a rather unconventional weapon type, but there's no arguing with a full bucket of ink to the face. Blasters shoot out a ball of ink that explodes on impact or in midair. It's great for spotting opponents hiding behind corners. Each weapon and weapon type has its strengths and weaknesses, so you may want to shop around before you settle
Yeah, there we
down.
go.
In Splatoon 2, some of the weapons have extra functionality that was not present in the first game. Chargers now let you keep your charge while swimming around in ink. Rollers can be swung vertically to increase your range. And the new dualies let you dodge roll. As you can see, some weapons open up some interesting maneuvers.
That's good.
But what good is R&D without the development part? Introducing the Clash Blaster. It has short range, but its high firing rate and explosive tendencies keep the enemy at bay. Introducing the Flingza-Roller. Its horizontal swings are fast, and though its vertical swings take longer, they fling ink further too. Believe it or not, the roller changes shape depending on how you swing it. I wonder if shapeshifting has a special significance to inking.
This game feels so weak. Like looking at it,
Introducing
probably because it is.
the GoTuber.
But like more than now.
This one is special. It holds a charge for an extremely long time. And as a result, you can move to a better location while powered up and unleash a mighty sneak attack. Ka-chow! Introducing the Dapple Dualies. Even for a pair of dualies, these things are incredibly light in weight. That way you spend less time dodge rolling and more time winning. But what about sub-weapons? In addition to spreading ink and attacking, sub-weapons provide other abilities that help with both defense and reconnaissance.
That's a
Some
splash
are great at
wall.
making waves with inklings. For instance, the Autobomb
And, like,
locates and hunts down enemies.
That's not right.
The aptly named Toxic Mist can be thrown at enemies, surrounding them in a harmful gas. And that's just the beginning. New sub-weapons are currently in development. A plethora of unexpected tactics are possible when you mix and match your weapon combinations. So try them out and find what works for you. Now for the all-new special weapons. And by all new, I do mean all of them are new. As veterans know, you have to cover turf to fill up your gauge, or no special weapon for you. Additionally, when another player's special gauge is full, their UI icon will glow, giving you more information on which to act.
There's no
Missiles
tracking
lock onto
thing.
enemies and fire multiple projectiles.
And damn, that's slow.
The inkjet enables you to fly through the air and launch explosive globs of ink at the enemy team. The Stingray fires high-pressured ink
Oh,
that can
great.
somehow shoot through walls.
Damn, that killed really
The
quick.
splashdown clears out enemies by causing an ink explosion after you dive down to the ground from the air. The ink storm is always making it rain ink. The bomb launcher allows you to launch a barrage of bombs onto the battlefield.
Man, this is so slow.
Ink armor increases the defense of all your allies for a set period of time, completely negating the damage from a single attack, no matter how strong. And finally, the Baller puts you in a giant, explosive hamster ball that will roll you wherever you want, even up walls. Just imagine the possibilities afforded by each of these special weapons. So far, we've examined Inkling gear, weapons, and the strengths and weaknesses inherent to each of them. It's important to choose the right ones to take into battle for the stage and mode you've selected. Speaking of modes, Turf War is just that, a battle for territory. No matter how many times you get splattered, if you ink the most turf, victory is yours. It really pays to cover up enemy ink, It not only adds to your coverage, it reduces theirs and restricts their movement around the stage.
This music is good.
Inklings will do battle
I
anywhere.
mean, it is a little
City
old, but you know.
streets. A sports club. An academy. A concert.
That's different.
A racetrack.
Wow.
And so on. Catch my drift? I certainly hope so, because these stages are riddled with hazards, such as this shipyard.
I remember this feeling very modern. Maybe it's because it's like really
Either
young,
use them
but
to your advantage
I wouldn't say
or
young.
get splatted.
2017 was 5 years ago, though. Wait,
It's
I'm
your
20.
move.
That was like when I was 15 then. Good lord.
In addition to turf war, serious squids can experience the thrills of
Oh.
range battle.
I can see
There
them
are
talking
3
about
modes that rotate
rank
every 2
battles
hours.
in the direct then.
Splat zones.
This is how we're getting a drop
Fight
for rank
control of
news
the
right
splat
now.
zones placed on the stage. The team that maintains control of them longest reigns supreme. Tower control. Fight for
I
control
like
of
how
the
they're
tower
showing
that
pure
moves on
gameplay
rails
here
when you're
though.
standing on it.
Like we haven't gotten that with Splatoon 3 yet. I mean
Fight
barely.
all the way to the goal in the other team's area to win. The tower will stop at key checkpoints, resulting in fierce battles for possession. Rainmaker. The team that carries the Rainmaker to the goal in the other team's area will be declared the winner.
What is that roller
Rainmaker
doing?
itself is a weapon that can fire powerful charge shots. Pushing your team forward while protecting the Rainmaker is the key to victory. As you win ranked battles, your rank will increase. This will result in being matched with players of a similar skill level in future ranked battles.
Okay, that was a new
This
thing.
time around, you'll have a separate rank for each mode. Prove you can out-ink
They really did a
the
good job at
competition,
explaining
and you
this
may
game to
even move up
beginners, which
2
is
or
a
more
big
ranks
deal
at
in
a
Splatoon
time.
2. Splatoon 3, probably not as much. It can, but
League battles allow you to form a team with friends.
they're still gonna have new
fight
players, but it's not
alongside
gonna be
them,
as bad as
and
this is.
battle your
Also,
way to the top
audio
of the
monitoring
charts.
isn't even on for me.
You can
Hang
enlist
on.
one other friend to form a pair and be
Hello?
matched with another pair.
Is audio monitoring
or
okay?
connect
It's
with
really
three
hard to
friends
hear,
form
so
a four-squid team. League battles play out as ranked battles over a 2-hour period, or until the stages change. Your score is based on your wins and losses during that period. If you play well, you can receive an in-game medal
Oh,
to
it's on
commemorate
high.
your awesomeness.
Oh, hey, Alicia. Sorry, I'm
Now,
one monitor
well,
today.
if it isn't merch,
I'm on a
the
different
sea
computer.
urchin. Talk to this
That is a little
guy and
loud.
take your gear from fresh to freshest.
There we go. Should be a little bit.
You could reduce
Better
your ink consumption
ish.
or move a bit faster. You see, gear has
Oh,
different
I hit the mic. Whoops.
abilities. Some for headwear, some for clothing, and even shoes. Let's see, I have a number of trendy gear abilities listed here. First up, thermal angle.
This part of the song is so good.
Track distant players that you've hit with your main weapon. The object shredder ability increases damage dealt to all non-player targets.
Then they slow it down. Yeah.
Quick respawn reduces your respawn time if you get splatted repeatedly without splatting anyone yourself.
This is so weird. Like, why is but respawning there? Like, we know.
On the flip side, Respawn Punisher increases respawn time, and the special gauge spawn
Yeah.
you and any player who splats you.
This is great. No one uses this, I feel like. Like, it's just a
And
quick
the toggle
millisecond.
is
I don't
tilted
know.
stick during the super jump to perform a forward or sideways roll when you land.
What do splatter shots even use that ability? It's like
Want to know what you're up against? Check out the
Tent Attack,
here on the
Whiplash. Their names are still good. Splashy, Cuttlefish,
Gear
Toad.
abilities
Oh my
present many
god.
unique challenges, so it pays to study
But
not
like
only
the
your
last
gear,
names were good
but
from
the
Splatoon 3,
competition as
Samurai
well.
and Direct, so.
Remember, merch can add or remove gear
This just screams, not this.
as well. Remember,
This just screams they're adding new abilities. Like, no one saw it, but yeah. Does this look a little different on the left? Like, it looks a little bit more white than it does now. Like, isn't it like black now or something?
merch can add or remove gear abilities.
Also, who's level 21 A rank? That's pretty pog. Like that's really good. I think. Ah yes,
Now,
the new
for
mode.
the job everyone's been talking about. I have some new information that I'm happy to share. The job description says it's easy work with good pay. Work together as a team of 4 to splat salmonids and collect their power eggs. Apparently, this is the place that's hiring. Looks kind of shady if you ask me. They're not always hiring though. They're only open when the salmonids are on.
February 18th to July 18th. That's a long time. But then he doesn't come back to the 20th, which is like 2 days later, which is like wow. Yeah. So the gap for Salmon Run used to be like a day or two, which is a long time. But when it was active for like months maybe. Well, the next session was only like a day long, 22 to 23. Yeah, I see the issue. It's only open for like a day or two, and then it closes for another day or two. Like, yeah. I like it where it's at now, where it's pretty open like most of the time. Maybe like a very few occasions it's not, but like, yeah. Why is that first session so long? July, I guess because it's developing the game, you know? But then it's just one session. Plus, that next representation, like, kind of sucks. But it's also, maybe that's something to do with Splatoon, like, test fires or something. I don't know, man, because it's a little weird if you ask me.
On the move. Let's see.
I can't see chat, it's so weird.
It's all about salmonids, which I'm all about studying. It sure helped out back at the lab, especially when studying dangerous boss salmonids.
That's literally just the manual.
Ah, the steel eel.
That isn't, though.
These salmonids block your path with their long bodies and lay down ink wherever they go. Flyfish use jetpacks to hover while firing squid-seeking missiles.
Man, why is it zoomed in?
The steelhead. This behemoth fills bombs on its head with toxic ink and then throws them at targets. I'm afraid that's not all. Other undiscovered species of boss salmonids lurk in the depths. Science changes with the tide, and so too does the water level.
See, that doesn't happen, I don't believe. Actually, yeah, it can. But there's usually UI and stuff.
As night falls, ferocious salmonids will rush you with incredible speed.
I thought this was an update. Yeah, I didn't play Salmon Run much, as you can tell.
It certainly is dangerous work. However, special rewards make it more than worth the trouble.
What is that
Items can
special
only be earned
thing?
in Salmon Run. They may open up new possibilities in battles, so why not give it a go? Next,
Ah, yes, this song. We all know this song, unfortunately. I swear it's engraved in our brains.
Say hello to Splatnet 2. a
This was
service
nice
that
to
puts
hear.
information Such as stage schedules, gear, and stats at your fingertips.
I swear Splatnet 3 has got to be in the app. Like, I don't know why it wouldn't be, but like, because it just makes sense. Splatnet 2 is there. It was very useful and stuff, so why wouldn't they put Splatnet 3 there? Yeah, talks about Splatnet 3, because the voice chat unfortunately doesn't exist. This, I hope they overhaul the posting system and give it like text chat. That would be nice. Because that was like a big thing in Splatoon 1. Like, that was a big like Splatoon 1 vibe. Being able to use text in these posts, in your post. Honestly, the show I don't remember people using. I believe Atlanta Vintage used that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I never used the show. But I think it should either be integrated with the lobby system or something new. I really want to see it integrated with the lobby system because no one goes here. Squid Beats is cool, but like it's really tricky, and I swear I feel like no one uses it. Single player gets mentioned. All right. But literally, the trailer for this is like the initial spot in gameplay. Like, this is just, that was just the introduction.
You can take different weapons into battle. And
Yeah, it's not great. I think they'll give us a little glimpse of single player, because here's the thing, we've already got the trailer. So I think they'll just tell us what's going on or something. A bit more than what they've done previously. Um, I can very well see the Splatoon 3 Direct being like an hour long. Like they haven't talked about much, and they get into updates, which is nice. You need a good like you need to let the people know that like this is a live service game and like get trust in doing updates. You know.
Well,
Let's see what they have.
some fresh weapons,
What got brought up?
and stages today.
I kind of know.
What more can science offer us? How about some content updates? New weapons are
They used Now or Never. I guess because we're at the end.
Go to the Brahma. Much like an umbrella, it offers both beauty and functionality. Press and hold the button to open it up and block enemy attacks.
Wasn't this weapon really weak when it came out?
And if you continue holding down the button, you can even do this. Of course, once used, you won't be able to open it for a while,
They should be more specific what button to press.
so be careful. Plus, new special weapons are on the way. And of course, new gear too. Fashion is a fickle beast after all. Over time, more stages will become available as well. Over at the lab, we're crazy excited to calculate the many ways.
I just realized that in the Splatoon 3 Direct, if they do this Now or Never theme at the end where they talk about new content, we'll get like a glimpse of the we'll get to hear the new Now or Never. That'd be sick.
This will change the game. Expect weapon, gear, and stage updates for around a year.
Splatfest.
Along with 2 long years of Splatfests.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it'll stay fresh.
Oh yeah, the Splatfest announcement.
But what is a Splatfest anyway? I'm sure some of you know them even better than me. These events split players into 2 sides and pit them against each other in 4-on-4 matches for a limited time. Each Splatfest
This was a
is
good
polarizing
Splatfest.
theme, leaving players
Probably one of the
with
best in the
option
game.
to decide
No, not the
who
best,
to
but
win in terms
general Splatfest. I don't mean like the big events.
And for the first time, you can fight alongside your friends on the same team.
Damn, the contrast. I like that they timed the beat a little bit.
I had this little video for you.
Yeah, this was awkward.
Why it exists, and yet here it is.
Like, they shut off the Splatfest already. Why are they doing this? Oh, yeah, then you look at the idols. It does look compressed. Yeah, this is very awkward and weird. It went on for way too long when it did. So, like, it's still going. It's still... Oh my god. Alright. Yes. The famous boot up screen we'll all get to know and love for the next, like, 5 years. Oh, they showed us the news. I mean, it's a little different, obviously. But it follows the same format. Yeah, here's where it goes off script. I wonder what the idols are the idols gonna still be Marina and Pearl, or is it gonna be new? I think we'll have new idols, but Marina and Pearl will still be existing, if that makes sense. Like, they won't be idols, but they'll have some big role. Like maybe the Pearl was Chaos, so maybe she went to go take over the world or something instead of being an idol because busy with that. I don't know. We'll see, but yeah. So they announced the Splatfest Blood premiere here as well. I believe it was the weekend before the game came out, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Coast time. So that's like at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., which is a little late. I believe, was that the only time the slot to play though? Yeah, that would have been. I hope if they do this again, they give you a full 24 hours, like normal Splatfest to go. Also, there's a bit of a blur over the time, so you can tell there was something originally there that they had to blur out and put the correct time. Probably a localization thing. But yeah, Splatfest Blood premiere got announced, and that was the direct. I really hope for the next direct, the Splatoon 3 direct, they make it a bit more formal because this is very like this is a little too boring. They modernize it a bit more. At the time it was fine, but like man, is it boring as fuck. All right. So that was the direct. There was something interesting that occurred with Splatoon 2 directs. There was another Splatoon 2 direct. Actually, right here it is. April 12th. It was only 7 minutes. It did not last long at all. Um, but it really just went over Salmon Run, which isn't really needed now because we already know what Salmon Run is. And what else? Like they already gave us a deep dive into the new Salmon Run mode in Splatoon 3. So the need for an explanation just I don't feel like is necessary. Um, yeah. I think Splatoon 3's direct is going to be focused more on um, not new players. I mean, if you look at the trailers, it shows itself that we're seeing a lot of uh, things for older players or players who already played Splatoon 2. So I think the devs are walking into Splatoon 3 expecting most people to know everything. So it gets me interested on how they're going to handle the direct. If the Splatoon 3 direct is about a half hour, they'll probably say it's about 20 minutes or so. Or that's a little short, but like 25 minutes of news, because I gave you an extra minute, almost 2 minutes of news there. Um, you know, they're gonna have to cram a lot if they want to go through everything like they did in this case, like to explain to new people. You're gonna spend a while doing that. Um, so I feel like it's gonna be an interesting like cycle for news. Here's what I think is gonna occur with Splatoon 3 news. This is just my opinion. So, and it's just all speculation, as you know. Can I make this longer? Yeah, I can. Um, I think so. This direct happened almost around this point in time. Now, the game we assume is going to come out a month later than Splatoon 2. Not exactly a month, more like weeks later than Splatoon 2, because Splatoon 2 came out like July 22nd. This game probably will come out August 5th. That is also a Friday, need I mention, July 22nd. August 5th, or like early August, makes sense. But there is that supposed release date. I think it's like. Hang on, what is that date? I wouldn't say leak, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not going with that. Snorth, good old Snorth.
Japanese Twitter has
Jeez,
been
that's loud.
buzzing
When is it? Splatoon 3 trailer, no. Samus Hunter, we all know, is not good. Just not a credible source. John over at GVG made a video all on this.
15/7 means the 15th of July, and that
15th of July. That would be interesting to just get up to release. And then, like, okay, that's also earlier than. Wait, is the 15th of July a Friday? July. Yes, it is. Huh. That is a week prior to Splatoon 2's launch. I think. I think the Splatoon 2 come out. They announced it here, if I'm correct. No, they discussed it in the previous direct. They gave an announcement here of the launch date. July 21st. So yeah, almost a week prior, 6 days prior. They also announced Amiibo and talked about Amiibo stuff here. So it's pretty much, if they start talking about an Amiibo, expect a launch date. So that's interesting. If we go by that, the gameplay thing, which I think is correct, July 15th is pretty early. I would like that. That is a good date for Splatoon to come out. I am a little concerned of it being rushed, because of the reason that they started development in, what is this? In August. You know, that might be a problem. But I mean, hey, if they can get it out the door sooner, I don't mind. And it also works out with like my school schedule, or at least my post school schedule, with what I have to do once school gets out, which is pretty much May. I'm pretty fine. I don't have nothing to do in May. But June, we have like the E3 season early in the one. And then like on the 20th, I have to get a colonoscopy. And then I spend 3 days prepping for that, which is going to suck. So yeah, this CPU is so loud. And the air is coming out is cool, which is nice, but yeah, it's just getting, it has a stock Intel cooler on it, you know. I could upgrade it, but that's a lot of work. And it's money that I don't need to spend. I don't use this computer often. I probably want to go to college, but I'm not playing games on it because it's pretty pathetic. Yeah, if I had a better GPU, I could, and I could switch it out, but I'm a little concerned with the power supply to switch the GPU out. So, you know, it's fine. It's fine for what it is. But anyways, if we're going off of July 15th now, or what's July 15th, which makes sense. It's a Friday. I think it's gonna happen. I see. Usually, I think we would have saw that direct by now, or like some form of that Salmon Run direct that we saw, or we didn't see it, but something like that, just to kind of give you a little bit of information on the game. But see, that was on a new mode, and there isn't any new modes to our knowledge in Splatoon 3. Yeah, they could go in depth on story, but I think they want to save it for the direct. Ranked is also a direct thing, like very heavily direct themed. Yeah, so I really think now is just waiting for this direct, which happened. When did that direct occur? This one, July 6th. Wow, that's like weeks before the game came out. So it happened on July 6th, and the game came out the 21st. So that's like what, about 2 weeks before the game comes out. Wow, that's rough. But if we're talking about that this time of July 15th date, that means we would get it July 1st ish, this week in particularly. I don't think it'll happen the 1st, but yeah, like end of June, which would really suck for me, but I should be fine because my colonoscopy is the 20th, and I should be fine the next day, the 21st. I should be good and back to normal, which is good. Yeah, it's not like a procedure. They're not doing any surgery. They're just sticking cameras up you, which is annoying, but it's what they got to do. So yeah, Splatoon 3 launching July 15th kind of makes sense. It is a little bit earlier, and it's shocking that it is, but if they can get it out the door, that'd be cool. And yeah, although I hope it's a more like better experience because it's coming out earlier, and not like rushed. I mean, it's gonna be rushed a little bit to like general gaming standards, but I think we'll be fine. Like I don't like, for Splatoon standards, it'll be better than before. I mean, they had 3 years to do this, so, and they really spent that 3 years thinking some stuff out really well. So yeah, that means the week of the 1st, so like late June, the very last week of June, we could see a direct, which would be nice. Very late, and then they'll probably announce a Splatfest World premiere for that weekend, or not that weekend, the next weekend, July 9th, it'd probably be. And yeah, although it is very predictable nonetheless. They also saved the release date for that mini direct that I showed you. It was on Salmon Run. They talked about Amiibo and Salmon Run there. And we're not going to get a Salmon Run direct. I don't think we would, because it's very similar to Splatoon 2 Salmon Run. Why would they do that? So yeah, I think they'll that's the interesting thing. Do they wait until that direct to give the release date? I could see it just being a Twitter drop, like just, hey, here's, or they push the direct earlier. That's an option. I should really close my door. But yeah, yeah, it's interesting thing to think about. Do they push the direct earlier, or do they keep it here? I hope. I hope that the direct is earlier because I like it when it's not predictable. I'm gonna go close my door. Scaring my mom. Yeah, I was thinking about asking her, but I'll ask after the stream. I'm shocked this GPU can stream. Like, I thought it couldn't, but no, it really can. I mean, it can't do anything else, but like basic shit. But hey, that's cool. Oh, my nose is running now. It's been all over the place today. Yeah. So it's, Splatoon Direct, Splatoon 3 Direct. I think it's gonna be earlier. Just a lot of people are sick of Nintendo's news strategy of giving you like the direct for the game like a month prior. People want to see it like 3 months out. So Spawnwave mentioned doing the direct like a month later, like a month from now in late May. Because that gives you like what, May, June, and then July. That's about 2 months out from launch, which makes a bit of sense, you know, if we're going with that July 15th launch, which I really think is going to happen. Yeah. If it doesn't, it's fine because August works, but it's not as good because people go back to school in August. Most people play Splatoon are kids. It's aimed at kids. An August release is fine, but you go back to school end of the month, you know, so you don't get much Splatoon time. Although a lot of competitive players are just older people who aren't in school most likely, or just people in general will just say that that opinion is shit, but like it is kind of true-ish, and I really think they care about the players a bit. So, and if majority of their player base is kids, I mean, come on. So yeah, Splatoon 3 Direct. Hopefully it comes soon, like in May would be nice. It'd be interesting to see how it goes with E3 as well. They had to manage that direct around E3, and they did it like early in July. The problem is with the game coming the 15th, the direct would be like late June, which is like right after E3. And what's weird is we already have an E3 game, Mario Strikers, that coming out, I believe it's like late June. So, yeah. Yeah, so the game kind of has to be July or August. I think what they're going to do is July. Makes sense because, I mean, Mario Strikers is in June, late June if I'm correct. We have an April launch. I think we had a May launch. I know there used to be like a schedule. It's probably up on Twitter or something of what was going on. I need to like clean off my phone because I disinfected it and it feels like yucky now. But yeah, either way, I'm excited. It's just gotta wait, you know. Honestly, in the perfect world, when do I get out of college, man? They probably want to wait until June to talk about the game because kids are out of school. But honestly, if they come out like what? I get out the week of May 14th, I think. It might be the next week. If they come out and have a direct on May 20th or 27th, those weeks, perfect. Like that's a good time to have the direct. But E3 would be like a week away or like a couple, like, yeah, not that far off. And it's a little weird having that and then E3 the next week. So you gotta like spread it out. So I think late June is a good time for the big direct for Splatoon. Yeah. Although they did show Samurai gameplay at E3, so we will get news at E3 for Splatoon. But I don't know. Actually, was that Splatoon Direct? Splatoon 2 Direct early June? No, it was after. What happened for Splatoon 2 at E3? That was July 6th. So yeah, Splatoon 2 E3 2017. What happened there? So we had this. Hang on, let me get my headphones back on. Oh yeah, this was the good E3.
Welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3. We're here on the show floor of the Nintendo booth, and right now we're going to do a little bit of Treehouse competitive Splatoon 2 to see who
All right.
what it takes. So, we're going to have one team is going to be Corey,
This was
Matt,
cool.
Audrey, and Sam against the two
Man.
Kendra and Terry. So let's jump into
That's
the
so
matches. We're
cool.
gonna start with a match of Turf War, and then we'll move on to some of the other game modes.
That's so cool. It's just on the show floor.
That people are going to be choosing their weapons.
Damn.
What are you going to go with, Corey?
Dualies are brand new to Splatoon 2. I'm going to roll with the dualies to kick things off.
Roll with the dualies. The dualies, of course, being a very maneuverable weapon, you can use that dodge roll to kind of hop around and outflank your opponent. Let's see how well Corey's able to employ that strategy. I got a lot of faith. This guy's pretty good at Splatoon 2, and he's all dressed up in his
Yeah, here you have to go by the main abilities. It's like,
so.
oh wow.
Ready? Go
So this is
ahead
doing
and
private battles.
slot in.
Is that how they're gonna show off Splatoon 3? Oh wait, there's no in-person E3 this year. Damn.
Player 3, come on. Who's
Don't you miss E3?
Rich? It's always Am.
I gotta say, to just plan it out being like, hey, just have the players play the game and that be our demonstration is so cool. Like you gotta love the Splatoon devs.
Power man, that guy. Like, he might be my direct manager, but he can't really say anything because he doesn't have a microphone. So, hey, let's do this. Turf War, Treehouse Live, Pump Back, Pump Track. All right, so right out the gate, we see Corey using those dualies to
Man.
put down a little bit of ink. And he looks like he's charging up a special. This is
I don't remember this.
the dually set in
Yeah, this player knows what they're doing.
Show floor build we have right here.
Do special. Alright, they're gonna wait. Yeah, it refills your ink tank.
And then he's gonna launch around
Oof.
that dude. So
You could have got somebody else, but
whoever that was, I'm not able to tell, was able to evade those Tenta missiles. But those Tenta missiles are really great.
I guess they tried to throw a burst bomb at someone. What's your goal? Are you trying to hit someone with the burst bomb?
Maybe not.
I'd get out of there.
Tenta missiles, not only are they great at, offense
Damn.
and actually hitting opponents, but they're great at scaring opponents, which is almost just as valuable sometimes. Let's see
You
if
didn't go
we got
towards the
roll.
splashdown? What is this? Bruh,
Corey out. Corey danger. Come on, buddy.
you're not hitting.
Oh,
Wow, they.
see, that was a
Wow.
sitting duck. You
Do
saw
these
that?
players just don't know what they're doing? Or
You
like,
a little nervous right now?
Not at all.
probably.
Okay.
Like, you're in front of a bunch of people playing the game.
Oh, Corey danger. It can
This
happen.
commentary is really bad. They tried. We'll give it that. They really tried to play this game. It sucks that people didn't play it. They just put like Nintendo Treehouse members on there. Like, why is this here on the show floor and not like up on the stage? Would have been nice to see it on the stage. But hey, it's even cooler here though because it's with people. But I don't know.
Checking his map right now.
They're all not communicating either. They're just quiet.
He's gonna super jump to one of his friends here. Ooh, and he does the immediate dodge roll after landing. That's very smart. Very handy with the dualies because if someone's camping your spot, the second you land, you can dodge roll and maybe evade their shot.
You gotta be careful what you say. You don't want players to get like the wrong strategies and stuff.
To ink another day. That's all right. Ooh, he has this. Ooh, he
There we
got around
go.
two.
That's pretty decent.
Maybe.
Ooh.
But what you did there.
Oh yeah, good dodge roll. Oh
2v1.
oof.
Oh, Corey falling to the 2v1.
Why are we all stuck on the same person?
What happened there?
1 minute left. This is where it matters. That was all.
1 minute left. Let's pop that map open to see the. It's pretty even. You better get. into
They
that
really don't know how to play the game with the map open, huh?
and, clean up a little bit. I mean, I guess it's the opposite of clean up because you're just making a huge mess. But right now is where. Oh, see with the double splat.
Man.
Double splat. Corey, see at 39 seconds, Corey just won the game for his team.
Why was the other team all in like one area?
This guy, great individual. Oh,
Damn.
yes. Okay, this guy's a monster.
It's funny because this is such a bad gameplay, but like, then again,
clean up there, man. It's ridiculous.
Splatoon 2 at launch was very different than now.
Yep, you can see that entire midsection.
Like, no one knew what they were doing compared to now.
What is going on? You're playing out of your mind right now.
Yeah, it's. I don't-
Yeah, this person knows what they're doing. Oh my god.
Oh, come on, man. I'm just playing. You did a great job, Corey. Let's see what the final tally was. 57.7 to 31.7. I'm not going to do the math because that's not really my thing. But I'm going to look at that 8 splats, splats and assists, and then you use your 10 missiles 3 times.
Not
Which
assists.
not only are those 10 missiles hitting opponents, but it's all.
Oh yeah, it's Pride
making
Battle.
far off
So is that all on Humpback or no? Someone else. Spectators in charge.
10 missiles actually.
I wonder if there's a spectator when you play the game. So they just talk to people. Do they hop in the ranked? Yeah, they hop in the ranked. So they have a full half-hour segment of Splatoon. Rainmaker, tower control. They didn't show splat zones, which is interesting. They just did Rainmaker and tower control. A new thing at the time was checkpoints. That did not exist in Splatoon 1. They really focused on it here. Yeah, where your gameplay says otherwise. It's basically a Splatoon god, no. Yeah, so we had that happen, the show floor demonstration. We had the Inkling Invitational. Then they did a Salmon Run demonstration. That I remember. So they did about a full hour of Splatoon gameplay just on the show floor, which is kind of crazy. Oh wait, they also did a single player demonstration. Damn.
We are here
They really did a lot.
show you a little bit of Salmon Run.
I remember this.
Within Splatoon 2. We have
So they're
some
all gonna
very
play
special
handheld mode,
guests
oof.
From Squid Research Labs, it's a mysterious
Yeah.
organization. We don't really know much about it.
Within
We decided to
Nintendo.
show up, so we're gonna let them talk while we play.
They're using LAN adapters. Nice.
let's jump right into it.
Except, is something hooked into this? Because I see black, but I see white, so they probably still can hook into it.
So, first off, Mr. Scientists, can you tell us a little bit about the creation of this game mode?
まあこのモードについて
はい
喋っていただけないですか。
はい、このサーモンランは2人から4人で遊べるそういう新しい遊びですね。で、クマさん紹介というこうな
They all address the Squid Research Lab so weirdly. It's just like, yeah, you're a scientist. Like,
その組織から鮭を倒してイクラを回収しろと依頼されます。
So in this mode, this is available for up to 2 to 4 players to enjoy. And what you're going to be ending up doing here is
you don't want to play Salmon Run 2 players.
incoming
Don't do
waves
that.
Of attacking salmon.
What is this? This must be in the
In
shoal.
our research as salmonids, you're being hired by the Grisco Industries company to fight back.
This translator is
against
pretty
the
okay.
attacking salmonid creatures.
で、時々現れる大物鮭とは呼ばれる
Probably gotten better.
倒すと、金のイクラを落とすんですけど、この金のイクラを、制限時間内に、指定された数集めるというのが真の目的になります。
Now, part of your work is going to be collecting golden eggs that are going to drop from these larger scale salmonid creatures that you're going to see soon here called boss salmonids. You have to
Wait, are
collect
they all
enough
playing
of
in
them
handheld
within
mode
an
though?
allotted time in order to complete your objective.
So we got Splat Duelists here. This person knows what they're doing. A little bit. No, never mind. Hey, they got the this way thing down. Wow.
But look out because you're going to get a game over if you aren't able to collect the allotted the allotted golden eggs within that time.
Man, this feels boring. Look, no one's throwing a bomb at it.
That was a look at a boss
今
salmonid.
金のイクラを落としたので、あそこのコンテナに
And that was a golden egg we can see one of our players
格納
has
していきます。
taking it back to the egg basket to fulfill that quota. Looks like they have 3 out of 4 now.
So Nogami's commentarying this, which is interesting. I'm sure there's a script. But, yeah.
And you must survive against 3 different waves of salmonid.
Remember the 3 Splat Duelie in charge? No, it was like 2 Splat Duelie though. It's similar to this rotation.
And we're in wave
I wonder if that's why.
はい、味方と協力して
We saw the
攻撃
E3
を
rotation.
増やしてください。
And cooperation between teammates is very important in this mode, so everybody please get along.
で、サーモンランには大きくオンラインのオフラインの遊びとオンラインの
Oof.
遊びがあります。
Yep, collaboration is important. There's 2 bombs in one.
Not available. You can either play the
Uh.
game online or offline in local
お見せしてるのはこれはオフラインのサーモンランで、オフラインのローカルマルチプレイのサーモンラン。
Better than balloons, I
That
guess.
we're seeing right here, we've got 4 players together and they're playing the local offline version of Salmon Run.
オンラインのサーモンランはその熊さん紹介からの依頼という形で、鮭がこう川を遡ってくる、遡上してくるのに合わせて、イベントのように発生します。
And then the online version of Salmon Run is going to feature some timed events in which the salmonids, you know, as real-world salmon tend to spawn
Timed
upstream
events?
seasonally, the salmonids as well
What?
will occasionally mount an attack.
Whoa,
and
whoa,
Frisco Industries will
whoa.
answer the call and hire some workers to go fight them back.
Hold the phone. That never happened. We never got like seasonal events in Salmon Run like that. Like a real life implication in the game. Like, yeah, you have I think they just meant in-game events that'll like with waves, you know.
Back from time to time.
熊さん紹介からこう使える武器であるとか、どこのステージで戦うとか、そういったことを指定されてい
Now,
て、
this is early June. The game came out late July, so the game is still a little bit in development, but it's probably mostly done at this point. It does look pretty final to me.
この指定された条件に合わせてミッションを行います。
And
But I know at the end
the
there's a lot of bug
Frisco
crunching.
Industries will assign you weapons for those part-time jobs that you sign up for, and you'll have to deal with the weapons you've been assigned by your boss and go after the salmonid threat.
オフラインの、ローカルマルチ
I hope it isn't as boring as this is, but hey, it was cool at the time. But I just hope that the Squid Research Lab, when they come back, they're a bit more interesting with their commentary. I mean, not to hate on Nagami. Nagami's pretty cool, but it's just like, it's fine. Single player mode. This is
Welcome
interesting.
back to the third day of Nintendo Treehouse Live here at E3 in Las.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna have like numerous days of the treehouse, unfortunately. It'll probably just be one big stream, which means less time showing off for each game. But I do feel like this look at Splatoon is a big deal. I think what they'll do this year for Treehouse is, I mean, we'll get a big game. We'll get games announced, probably numerous games. I really wonder if they'll do a numerous day Treehouse like this, but in their own offices and stuff, or wherever they did it last year. Yeah, instead of here being in, you know, the LA Convention Center. Yeah, I really wonder like what they'll do. I hope it's numerous days like this, and they'll just do these long streams like they used to do, and just have like half-hour segments per game, and then they'll do something like this where they'll give Splatoon like 2 spotlights or something, with 2, 3, whatever.
I have with me my man Corey and 2 researchers from the mysterious Squid Research Lab.
Hey, can we get that again?
Mysterious
Yeah, this guy gets it, or this person. Nogami on the other hand is just it's fine. Maybe it's like a Splatoon 1 reference or something. I don't know, but you get it. Yeah.
Squid Research
But it's also who knows if Nogami's like a camera person, but come on, this is so cool to see.
Labs. They're going to talk about some of their new findings as they pertain to the single-player campaign in Splatoon 2. And with that, boys, please take it away.
それでは早速ちょっと僕の方でプレイしていきます。
So Nogami's playing for us today.
Pick up the controller and start playing right away.
画面出してください。
Yeah, one of the things that doesn't translate over is the tone of his voice. So the translator is like, I'm gonna pick up the controller and start playing right away. But he says it very boringly. And I'm sure Nogami meant it in a more casual way.
いきますね。はい。これがプラザ、ハイカラスクエアですね。
So this is the new hub, Inkopolis Square.
ヒーローモードの入り口はここにあります。
And today we're going to be looking at the single-player offering we have here, and we're going to enter that through this manhole cover right here in the corner of the square.
前作のヒーローモードでは、ナビゲーターが、当たりまし例だったんですけども、今回はナビゲーターがこのホタルになってます。
So, people who remember the first Splatoon game may remember that Captain Cuttlefish was your guide throughout the single-player mode, and this time we have Marie here who's going to offer some assistance.
さあ、じゃあちょっと早速進んでいきます。
You can hear Odyssey in the background of people playing Odyssey, which is pretty cool. Like, I miss this of Nintendo Z3s. Because I don't believe I ever saw something like this again. It was very formalized.
ゲームなんですけども、この、
Just gonna hop in the first level. It's already been played.
So single player mode, as you know, is a game all about taking out different stages here in the Octarian homeworld.
はい、プレイヤーの基本操作は対戦や昨日紹介したサーモンランと同じですので、このモードをプレイすることで基本操作を学ぶことができます。
And this is a great mode for learning the basics, all about controlling your Inkling and learning those types of skills that you can take into modes like Salmon Run that we showed you earlier.
弾を打つ方法であるとか。
The amount of times I'm sure Nogami's played this is insane. Like even on launch day, he played it. Yeah. They go on for a while, 33 minutes. So they dedicated over a half hour for these two things, and then about 20 minutes on the floor demonstration, which is pretty cool, I will say. So much time dedicated to Splatoon. We got a lot of gameplay at E3, and I think that would have man. The treehouse is going to be nice. Like, we're going to get... Wasn't there an E3 Direct? Let's see. Oh, they had an E3 Spotlight. That's right. We had Rocket League get announced. Metroid Prime 4, which that went well. Breath of the Wild DLC. Yeah, here's Splatoon.
Play anywhere with anyone. If video gaming is a journey, then anywhere
It did not sound like this.
has to include a stop right here in LA during E3. This is Magic Week, where booths buzz and channels glow, where the game worlds you've heard about suddenly spring into life. And this summer, a new kind of heated competition
Man, this makes you miss E3.
right on Nintendo Switch. It kicks off later today with the Splatoon 2 World Inkling Invitation.
Yeah.
Which brings teams from the Americas,
Let's go. I'm going to miss
Australia,
this.
New Zealand, and Japan to see whose colorful skills are the best. Tomorrow, the Pokken Invitational will be held. You might recognize some of our 8 competitors who'll be duking it out.
Yeah, it's just like
in heated
YouTubers or
battles.
something like,
Later on Wednesday, we'll see 8 players throw punches
Oh,
in
yeah.
the fun and competitive game ARMS, which launches later this week. 4 of our players will be pros, and the other 4 will be
Pros.
E3
The game hasn't even
rookies
came out,
who will
though.
Rise to the top by battling on the show
We got
floor.
Rocket League.
If you're going to E3, we hope you'll accept the challenge. And no
Is that all we got in Splatoon news at E3? Sorry. Damn. That means we can go in E3. Oh, wait. That's Splatoon, but it's at the very early beginning. Interesting. It's weird they did a Nintendo Spotlight and not a Nintendo Direct. But honestly, I kind of like this. So, I don't mind. Yeah. Splatoon is going... I don't think at E3 we're going to have talks on Splatoon 3. Actually, that is a perfect time to give that 4-minute direct that we had on Splatoon 2. Just have it at E3. Also, it's 69 degrees outside. Look down here in the corner. Nice. That is a big nice. Can I pin screen that? Oh. Why is it? No. It's just... Hang on. Here. There we go. Noise. Do I use Twitter from here? Or do I use Twitter from the web app? I don't remember. Twitter. I only have one display today and it's 90 hertz, which kind of sucks, but it's what is. Dang it. Oh, nice. Well, there's the code. I thought it went through like an authenticator, but I guess not. I'll add my other accounts later, but oh wait, I just realized shoot. Hello? There we go. And then I should be able to change my theme. There we go. And oh yeah, one more thing. Settings. Here. Display, and then just crank that all the way down. Go. So yeah, Splatoon 3 is going to be such a hype time. I am really excited. So I think what's going to happen is at E3 they'll give you that 4-minute direct where they give you a launch date, where they give you amiibo information, and a little bit of gameplay probably. Or I wouldn't say a little bit. They'll give you a good chunk of gameplay in the treehouse, but I don't know what they're gonna announce. Like, we're getting in the unknown territory. But it's weird that in February they announced it to be very, like, temporary. And this wasn't February. Yeah, they had like, whoops. They had like duct tape over the launch. And it's just like, alright, sure. But you're waiting until February, March, April, May, June, 4 months, and then you're gonna give us the launch date. I don't know. After 4 months, that is a good chunk of time, and I probably wouldn't be like, oh, that's like a basic launch date time, like, or like a basic temporary time. Like, if you're giving us duct tape over the launch date and stuff, shouldn't it be like 2-3 months away? Although it is 4 months, so I don't know. It probably barely puts it in the corner. But yeah. Nonetheless, I am still very hyped for Splatoon 3. And it's going to be great. We're going to get a lot of gameplay out of E3 and a bit of understanding of the game. We'll still have all the questions we do, but we'll get to see gameplay for once. More than what we have. And that's going to be really interesting because up till now, I don't believe we've seen like the introduction or what happens after a match. Like, how does the end of a match look? You know, what are the stats going to look like? What stats they're going to show? We don't know any of that. Yeah, and it has been 5 years. So there's a lot they can change in the 5 years. So yeah. Alright, so that's my talk on Splatoon 3. At E3, we'll get gameplay and a little bit of information. They'll give us a launch date. I wonder what they're going to show. Because normally they do a trailer. But I really don't know what they're going to show. Unless it's something new. If they show something new, now is a good time to show it off. If there's like a new mode or something in Splatoon 3, which would be kind of cool, and it kind of would be nice to have, show it off at E3 and give a deep dive into the new mode. Like, give a small, quick, or like do what they did with the Salmon Run trailer or Salmon Run Direct. It's only like 4 minutes, and that's perfect for Direct. And then give us a little bit of amiibo news, like, you know, and give us a launch date. Simple as that. And then yeah, and that'll be it for E3. Not much information, but well, it'll be a bit of information, but it'll be fine. It'll be a good chunk of news, you know, much better than February. And then though, after the launch date, we'll get the Direct in late June, and then we'll get our Splatfest demo. Now, I really wonder about Testfire when that's gonna occur, because with Splatoon 2, it was in a much developed state at this point. Or not at this point, but at E3, it looked really good. And normally we'd have a test fire around now, I assume. I don't know when the Splatoon 2 test fire was, but man, was it early. Like, it was early stuff. And I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with Splatoon 3. Judging by the look of the Salmon Run Direct, I don't think so. I think the game will be much closer to launch quality. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we gotta wait. So, when was the Splatoon 2 test fire? March 14th, really? That was the Splatoon 1 test fire. Yeah, March 2017. Oh, it was downloaded as early as March, but the server connection wasn't possible before the event. But when was the event? Oh, right here. March 24th, 25th, and 26th. So that was March. Wow. We're already in April, and we don't have a test fire. Damn. That's why it was so early then. Because you're looking at, like, wow. Especially with a rushed game. Yeah. That test fire must have been rough. And no shit it was. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to wait. I think what they'll do is at E3, they'll announce a test fire, and it'll be, like, the weekend of. You know? And then we'll be good. Like, we'll have a test fire the weekend of E3. And, yeah. We'll have E3, we'll get a lot of gameplay, and then they'll just give you a test fire. Wouldn't it be cool if the test fire was the same time as E3, though? Because normally, I'd assume it'd be, like, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It'd be so cool if they were just, like, if like during the E3 show there was a test fire. They're not gonna do that because they have to announce it prior. But like, come on, that would be cool if you had like the E3 test fire start after the Nintendo E3 Direct, or like when the Treehouse was going on. But I don't know, if you want to watch Treehouse, then you gotta like play the game. It's a little annoying. I really hope for the test fires. I don't think this is gonna happen because we had Switch Sports do the same thing as a test fire did, unfortunately, where it was time slotted and it sucked, but I never got to play it. But like, I mean, also, when did that test fire occur? Wasn't it like a month? It comes out late April. So it was almost 2 months prior to the game coming out. I believe it was 2 months prior. Wasn't it like early March? Switch Sports tests fire. And I'm pretty certain the Splatoon one would be the same spiel. You won't get, you'll have to go to Nintendo's stupid site. April 29th, when the game comes out. Wait, April 29th? Oh, no, that's the launch date of the game. February. So February, March, April. Yeah, it's about 2 months prior to the game coming out. Something to note. So that is about, what, if we go to July, it's July 15th if I'm correct. That is about 2 months prior. So June 15th, May 15th. May, June, July. Around May 15th would be the test fire date, which kind of supports the theory, if that is correct, assuming this. But that does assume that we have information. So if we're going to go by this and say May 15th, which is in a month, March, April, May 15th, roughly. I mean, you could see it's definitely rough. It's probably May 13th, 14th, and 15th will be the test fire. Close to. Which means we have to get information, like, early May, which is in, like, 3 weeks. Is that possible? Do you think they come out in, like, 1, 2... It has to be, like, 2-3 weeks from now. And just give you news. Would be interesting. It's also like right when I get out of school, by the way. talk about that. But a test fire during the school year, I mean, it was March. That's when people were in school. Yeah, I think that is a good time to hold a test fire. Like, because you're still in school towards the end, and it gets you hyped for the game a lot. I don't know. I think that's what's going to happen. I think in the next 2-3 weeks, they'll be like, hey, here's a Splatoon Direct. Or, I don't know, man. They could just Twitter drop the test fire. How did they announce the Splatoon 2 test fire? Maybe it's probably on here, right? It was downloadable March 14th. So maybe they announced it in a February 2017 Direct? Oh. What is that? That's probably like a scam text or something. Oh, college. It's my new college. There's a fire. That's not good. So 2017 Nintendo Directs, April 12th, 2017. Isn't that like around the date the test fire was downloadable for Splatoon 2? Here, let's close this. Close this. Close this. April 12th. No, March 14th. So we need to go earlier than this. There is a Splatoon 2 segment. I bet you that's the same Splatoon 2 segment from that we saw. So it was part of a direct. Did they have like a March direct? I don't think so, because they had one in April. So how did they get announced? So they did a treehouse of it. March 24th. Interesting. We'll take a look at that in a second. Is that Windows 11 themed? Trailer. Oh wait, no, I wanted to watch that. Wait, hold the phone. So they just came with the trailer just announcing this? Oh, I don't have... Hang on. We'll get audio in a moment. In theory. There it goes. Oh yeah, isn't this the Switch presentation? Yeah. Test fire music was so good. Whoops, I keep bumping the mic. That's it? Come on, this is good. So they give you an hour. I think they changed that with the recent test fires, I believe. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that was on my birthday. What? They announced this on my birthday. Oh, I was on the internet then. Wow. That's cool. Hang on, I gotta tweet that out. So here's the thing. I legit think they're just going to drop this similar trailer, mentioning people's reactions, like streamers' reactions, mentioning mentioning the direct, streamers' reaction to that direct, the first one, yeah, and then being like, it's time for more research, like similar to this but a bit more modernized, obviously, and then because this was February 12th, and the testifier was. Did they not get a date here? March 24th. That is over a month away. Just saying. But I don't think they're going to do it this way again. They're not going to announce it a month in advance. They'll do it like right before it exists. Like now they announce like the Switch Sports Testifier was like a week. You had like a week to prepare for it. But Splatoon doesn't like to do that. Just saying. Splatoon doesn't like doing that. Splatoon likes to give you it like ASAP. But yeah, but honestly they could do it the normal way, let's be real. But yeah. Gonna be interesting. That does put it pretty soon. Like if you're gonna go like Switch Ports did and did it a couple months in advance, that means we have to get the announcement in like 2 to 3 weeks. Probably 4 to be safe. Yeah, I think it was like 4 weeks. Like right around here is when it would be, the 14th or the 15th. So that means 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. About 4 weeks. Which is still kind of insane. So in about 4 weeks, we'll be getting a testifier, if I'm correct. Which is insane. Hopefully that is the case. I mean, that is when I get out of school, by the way. Like, good lord. I hope that is the case, because if I get like a testifier on like March 15th or like that, around that date, like I jump immediately out of school and go right to Splatoon 3. That's so cool. Yeah, I really hope that's the case, that they do it like in the next couple months, and then it's like that confirms the date. This date as well is oddly close to Splatoon 2's launch date. It launches the 22nd, 24th is 2 days later. Makes sense. Was this a Friday as well? I think it was. Special 6 1 hour playtimes. 24, 25, 26. It doesn't say the date. These are the week, but I'm sure it was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday situation. But yeah, I really hope they don't do this 1 hour. This 1 hour thing sucks, and they give you like 2 hours or something. Like, but then there were times at Switch Sports where they gave you like not much time. So, yeah. Yeah, Splatoon 3 probably gonna get a testifier in the coming weeks, like 4 weeks maybe, which is about a month away. That is about a month. We are April 15th today, which is actually like pretty close to Splatoon 3's launch. Like that's making it now an extra month, like equally months away. Yeah. Damn. So we're at April. So April, May, June, July. We're about 3 months away from launch. So that means about a month we'll be getting a testifier. A month we'll get a testifier. That technically means April, May. I doubt they're gonna do something in June. Probably late June we'll get the we're in April. April to May, May to June. Yeah, 3 months. So next month we'll get testifier, and then later in June we'll get a direct. That makes way too much sense. And then around mid-July, July 15th, I think is what the date is, we get a launch. And that works oddly well. Like, really good for Splatoon 3. So, just putting it out there. Let me watch this video on ProChar. I'm getting into, like, YouTube watching habits now.
Specials for Splatoon 3, came up with what 5 specials I think will be returning, and now I'm going to show you guys 5 brand new concepts or special ideas I think they should do in Splatoon 3. From a remnant of human culture, harnessing the power of a Zapfish, or even scarier, Splatoon 1. I hope you enjoy these concepts, and if you do, be sure to...
I think I mentioned this on Twitter. Twitter Talk on my private account. I think every Splatoon 1 special will be in this game, but heavily tweaked. Like, you know. And I think same with weapons. Like, every weapon that's stuck in Splatoon 1, except for like maybe 1 or 2, will be in Splatoon 3. Except for like the Dual Squelcher, because the Dual Squelchers are in this game. And Dual Squelcher never had an identity. It was a good weapon, don't get me wrong, but it was very similar to the Splattershot Pro. So, you know, if they can give it an identity, that'd be cool. But who knows? Or even best, like fuse the Dually and Dual Squelcher, but then that weapon becomes way too good. Maybe not. It's probably more just doubling the fire rate, wouldn't it be? I don't know.
Subscribe for even more Splatoon 3 content in the future. Let's get into it. This first special is known as a Sonic Wave, which was a weapon made from the power of a Zapfish. While hard to control, it has unique effects on Inkling's special weaponry. The special has you place down a small device. It leaves you fairly immobile, and then it explodes in a giant ring. That'll give people the effect of Splatoon 1 Disruptor. Purely visual, of course. Walls and floors do block it, and it takes some time to activate and even longer before you can move. This special has a few different effects. First of all, any sub-weapon nearby will be entirely broken. Any player's hit will have some status effects added to them. Their ink recovery rate will be slowed down by a third, and same for their super jump speed. However, the primary effect is if you're hit by this special, you can't activate your own, even if it's fully charged, and all of these effects will last for a total of 5 seconds. Special
that is a long time.
Duration this lasts from 5 up to 7 seconds total. For the strengths and weaknesses, this is the only special in the game with the ability to disable other specials, and on top of that, it's a
good idea.
It's clearing an entire area around you. However, the main downside to this special is your extreme vulnerability, on top of the fact that it doesn't do anything to active specials. This has to be used as a preemptive strike to stop the enemy team before they can even get their footing. If done right, your team could have a huge advantage, able to use their own specials to take them down. But if you use it wrong and you die, well, it's not really going to be that worth it, and your team's just going to be in a 3v4. This is a very tactical and high-risk, high-reward special. Those who enjoy trying to shut down the enemy team first and having careful strategy with their timing will get the most out of this. This next special is really different from anything else in the Splatoon series, so I got a lot to say about it, but this is Ink Risk Rally. Inklings have found a way to harness an ancient ability that once ruled Inkopolis, giving them a way to tap into potential from 4 years ago. So this special has 2 phases. The first one is
there's a date there, but that's 1 year after Splatoon 2.
And basically does a little splashdown, but rather
which we have
any form of damage, it launches a large
stuff going on there.
ring that spreads out around the range of 3 lines and chains to anyone on their team, giving them an aura for 7 seconds. The effects from this aura is that your respawn time and special depletion are both cut in half, and yes, this stacks with quick respawn, special saver, and respawn punisher. There is one exception though, and that's the special user, who will lose 75% of their special upon death. Special power-up will boost the size of the ring from 3 lines up to 4. This special has literally 1 strength, which is that if you lose a fight with it, it is much less punishing. The main weaknesses are that you have a vulnerable startup, it requires teammates to be nearby you, and your pushes with this will be much more clumped, and you won't be able to hide since you have that aura. So yeah, this special is based off Splatoon 1 quick respawn meta, and it seems a little bit weak on paper. The main unique thing about it is that it doesn't actually give you an advantage, it just gives you a safety net. If anything, it honestly makes your push harder. On paper, I think a lot of people are going to see this special and think it seems incredibly weak, but honestly, I think it has some interesting uses. Some strategies can have multiple people using these specials, and beacons or an anchor weapon that won't go in with you to give you fast regroups and allow you to play off this fast respawn time over and over, eventually winning a fight because of how aggressive you are. Another instance could be using this to do
I swear, some of these are gonna happen, like, come on.
on you, and then regrouping and pushing them with your own. This could also potentially be used defensively. If the opponents use a ton of their specials, you could pop this and take a fight with them without investing any of your own, regrouping quickly to a backline or beacon. Obviously, in solo, I think this will be used pretty much for individual carry potential. You might want to chain it to your team, but giving yourself a way to go for a risky push without punishing yourself as much will definitely be useful. I might do an entire discussion on the applications and potential of this special, but like I've said before, it doesn't really help you, so it's very different from any others. You would have to use this more on its own or with strategies that don't involve many other specials. While many people may underestimate it, I'm sure there's some squids in the lab who will find a unique use for this. The next special is based off a remnant from human culture, all about mobility enhancement, giving a way for even the slowest weapons to have brand new threat potential. This is the Splat Board. This special has a bit of startup in which you pull out and get on the surfboard, which lets you move at high speeds with full access to both your main and sub-weapon. You can even swim through enemy terrain and uninkable surfaces, just like an ink brush. Using squid form will let you put down the surfboard and swim around normally, especially helpful since the special can climb walls. This has a little bit of delay and uses 5% of your ink tank to pull out the surfboard again. Speaking of which, the special will drain 10%
That
of
isn't
your ink
much.
tank every second,
There we
even
go.
if you are in squid form and you can't recover any ink during this. After your ink tank runs out, the special will flip in front of you and will last for about 3 seconds as a mini shield. This special is affected by weight classes, so lightweight weapons will roll at 2 units per frame, which is barely slower than ink brush. Middleweight weapons will roll at 1.85 units, and heavyweight weapons will roll at 1.7, which is slightly faster than Octobrush. And by the way, the
This music
surfboard
is good.
shield that happens when your special runs out has 150 HP. Special power-up actually has 2 effects for this one. First of all, it increases the shield HP from 150 up to 250, but secondly,
it's not gonna
it
break
increases
like that,
the ink tank
but, you know.
consumption of pulling out the surfboard again
It's
from
Splatoon.
5 to 3%. On to the basic strengths and weaknesses. This special has a really long duration, especially the less actions you do. You have a very high speed.
Is there a link to
and
music?
bonus mini shield when it runs out. Walls are also a big deal for this special, since you can't climb it without going into squid form and
Concepts.
wasting time. And of course, there's no added HP, so you're still fully vulnerable when on top
Damn.
of that surfboard. So this was a
Oh, wait.
fan-submitted concept at
Music, song one, everything else from... Ah. Oh, wait, this is a person, not like links to music. Let's look up, let's see, song one, unless it's this one. Let's see if it sounds familiar. Not the... You mentioned there was 2 songs. I don't want to play too much of this on stream though. Here, let me mute this. And then I'll play it. Yeah, it doesn't remind me of anything. So then it's from this game. This music is pretty banger, I will say. Anyways, let's get back to Perchara's video. How about that? Oh wait, whoa. Oh yeah, one's the music, one's this. I'm not used to this being like Amazon being here and YouTube being here like as actual links, but yeah.
outside of the whole shield thing at the end and any specific
Oh yeah, this
information,
sounds
and I think
familiar.
it was a great idea. Honestly, having another enhancement special like Zipcaster is great, and that's also why I made it more ink tank dependent like Zipcaster is. I made this weight class dependent because I think the slower your weapon is, the more you'll benefit, so it's more just to balance it and make it more equal across the variety of weapons it could be put on. I think this is fairly unique. A lot of weapons could benefit from the mobility, and it could be a ton of fun to use. So I think anyone who really wants a chance to go lightning fast and shoot their enemies at the same time will enjoy this one. Recently, Sheldon did some experiments with main power-up, attaching numerous six gear pieces together when a fusion occurred. After some tinkering, a device was made that can fully utilize the power of main power-up. This can raise the main weapon to be as powerful as a special. The special would take 50 frames to activate, basically being you pulling out the device and attaching it to your weapon, which would give you a duration variant.
Alright, here's what I'll say. The concepts are pretty cool, but I feel like the beginning of your introduction where you talk a bit about like the look of the special and stuff, it's fine, but like I don't know, you look at the Splatoon 3 specials and it kind of contradicts it, I feel like, a lot of these, like, but that's also like each special should be different. So I mean, hey, if you told me a crab tank was coming to Splatoon 3, I'd be like, nah, no way. So I think anything is playable. Like anything is in. So especially Pro Chara, you know.
From 5 to 7 seconds, depending on your weapon. The special also has end lag when it runs out.
Especially when you talk about Kraken, I'm intrigued.
As your main weapon
or a special from Splatoon 1 that isn't in Splatoon 3.
There is numerous different
Or
effects,
2,
from
oh,
reverting
3
nerfs,
really.
fire rate increases, range increases. I'll get into some examples in a bit. Special power-up can increase iteration by up.
But I think a lot of the specials from Splatoon 1 that will return will get new names, similar to their originals. Like Splatoon 2, they tried to hide the fact that this was a Splatoon 1 special, but a little reworked to be worse. Not as good, you know? They kind of hid that and just said, no, it's new. It's a brand new special. From the ground up, when it's really not. Versus with Splatoon 1, now in Splatoon 3, you get like Trizuka, Killer Whale 5.1. Not really a 5.1 setup, but close enough. You added an extra speaker, but whatever. Technically, it's a 6.1. And there's no bass, to my knowledge. Actually, hang on. Yes, Killer Whale 5.1. I probably should have looked up Splatoon 3. How much you want to see? Nope, no Splatoon. Here we go. Oh, wait, that's Killer Whale 1.0. Here is 5.1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get 5 channels and a... Is that a bigger speaker? Or are these the same size? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 6 of these. By the way, there's 4 players on a team. So why are there 6 speakers? Food for thought. Yeah. For a 5.1 setup, you would need 4 speakers. 1, 2, 3, 4. A center stage and bass. So I think one of these has to do some sort of bass. Like acts like a bass speaker would do. Putting out very high, deep frequencies. You know, and doing something with that. While your main channels, or your technically 5 speakers, would be firing these beams. I just think maybe the man, I wish we got to see the special in action. I think maybe this, let's say this is a bass speaker. I doubt it is. Let's just say that that's a bass speaker, or that you'd have a bass speaker, and that would give you your fire radius, let's say. Possibly. That would be cool. And you have your other 5 to do that, but with 4 players, you get an unfair advantage. But even this, where you have 6 speakers, that's still an unfair advantage because you have 4 players. 2 of them will get targeted twice. Or it's something like that. Interesting that it's not 4 speakers. Yeah, it should be 5, but yeah, because the whole 5.1 naming scheme, it could just be a name, and I just thought, oh, 5.1, close enough. Yeah, I mean, you could do a full 0.1, but they didn't do that, so who knows.
To 1 second more than the standard duration, and it will decrease the end lag from 45 frames to 30 frames. The strengths will vary by whatever...
Oh, also, I saw this. You have like damage up or more defense on these targets. I think it's all these in the front. In Splatoon 2, you don't get any of that shit. It's just like, then you get like bigger targets, so many different targets in the test fire range of Splatoon 1. And I wish the test fire range was like this in Splatoon 3, but better. It can be better. Trust me, there's room for improvement in Splatoon 1's.
And it will decrease the end lag lag from 45 frames to 30 frames. The strengths will vary by whatever weapon it is, but the weaknesses are the same, which is a lot of startup and a lot of end lag. So I kind of covered this in a video, but that was more of a proof of concept. Not all the effects were thought out and actually balanced, so I'm going to go through some of the ones that I do think are fair examples to show off a bunch of the different effects it could give, and revoice over them because my old mic was trash. Aerospray, given a 125% larger ink tank capable of throwing 4 burst bombs.
Oof, this footage.
Saber, for example. 96 Gal loses all RNG on the weapon entirely. Last
Thank
7
you.
seconds. Tri-Slosher will have its old range back that it had in the start of Splatoon 2.
What?
When literally everyone played it. Rapid Blast. Rex now deal 125
okay.
damage. 5 seconds. Dapple Doolies. You get double the amount of dodge rolls as normal.
Let's
6
go.
seconds. Gootuber. When holding a charge, it gets the effect of Ninja
What's the
Squid
time?
as well as
6
no
seconds.
glow. It doesn't even slow you down. 7 seconds.
Damn.
Dynamo Roller. Roll speed increased to match Octobrush. 7 seconds. E-Liter. 100 damage has been changed to apply at 70% or higher. Basically like Splatoon 1 with damage up. 6 seconds. Brella can now shoot and shield at the same time, just like the bug in patch 1.4. 5 seconds. Sloshing Machine can now pierce through objects like the Grisco Machine. 7 seconds. The idea of a special that buffs your main weapon is really kind of limitless. There's a ton of different ways you can approach it, and this is just one concept. This idea, compared to any others I've come up with, is probably never going to happen for the sheer amount of development time of making a unique enhanced weapon look.
But this could be like a very late game thing that happens in an update. So just, it can happen, especially if they want to really make the updates last a long time. This would be a good way to end it off.
And effect for every single one in the game, or however many they put on these specific weapons. But you know, it's cool in theory, so I wanted to mention it. Inspiration for specials has come from a number of different places, from the Zapfish to old human culture, but this one comes straight from the sea, the Swordfish Swarm. This special starts by summoning 7 swordfishes around you like small daggers, which takes about 50 frames to activate. The special lasts 7 seconds, and each hit
Damn,
of the
that's like a
swordfish does
second.
60 damage. The special has multiple modes of fire, but all of them will paint your feet and do nothing else in terms of paint output. All modes will use 1 swordfish for each attack, and you'll lose it. However, if you do get a kill or an assist, you'll summon an extra swordfish. The first way of firing it is a throwing mode that has Tri-Slosher fire rate. Of course, there is a small hitbox, but the shots will travel about not velocity with 3.5 lines of range. As a bonus, this will also pierce through opponents. Firing mode 2 uses your sub-weapon, and it does a melee swipe that has around 1.5 lines of range. It has about Octobrush flick speed and hitbox size. And you wouldn't guess it, but there is a third firing mode. By pressing the special stick, you can throw all remaining swordfish similar to fire mode 1, but the more you have, the larger the hitbox will be. It'll basically be in a giant ring. Special power-up will increase the duration from 7 up to 9 seconds, and increase the range of your throwing modes from 3.5 up to 4 lines. The strengths of this special is your kill power and your insane close range swipes. Weaknesses, though, are that you have basically no painting ability besides inking your feet. There is literally nothing else, and as well as the floating swordfish makes you a big target, and the special requires very precise aim. This special has a few, well, special attributes. It's the only one with 3 firing modes, and it has that ammo refund upon kills or assists. You do have to be really careful with this one. You want to have a lot of paint control near you, or be able to see people you want to snipe at a distance. The third firing mode is also a massive risk reward. It's your biggest hitbox and chance of killing, but if you whiff, you just lost the entire special. For players who wait for just the right opening, this special will allow you to capitalize off of the best of situations. So, this completed with my returning specials video. Check out the link in the description if you haven't.
A lot of these videos are very complicated to understand unless I saw them, but hey, they're pretty cool. Yeah. I like to think very realistically for my ideas. My only thing is this is Splatoon we're talking about. It is next to impossible to think realistically because there's just so much they'll just curveball at you. So you gotta have these you know, out there takes. I wouldn't say out there. I'm not great with words, as you could tell. You know, the takes that are a little like, would it really look like this? Would it really not perform, but more of just look? Like, would you really have like a swordfish as a special? But because things are so like out there with Splatoon, yeah, it can happen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end stream there and just watch some other videos and stuff. Yeah. No drop frames. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Actually, let's take a look see at the stream one last time. Later. Actually, let's take a look see. Or two. That was weird. I heard like a big bang and I was like, what was that? I thought it was my mother. But I think a lot of the specials from Splatoon 1, this can go up a little bit, will get new names similar to their originals. Like Splatoon 2, they tried to hide the fact that this was a Splatoon 1 special, but a little reworked to be worse. Not as good, you know? They kind of hid that. Although I have a little bit to like general gaming standards, but I think we'll be fine. Like I don't like for Splatoon standards, it'll be better than before. I mean, they had. I am shocked I was like able to stream today. Like, wow, that's pretty insane. So, yeah. All right. Well, I just showed someone's location. That's great. Sorry, I'm streaming, so yeah. All right, we just got a big video decode lag, but no drop frames. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Fun stream. I'm glad it works. I can stream when I go off the campus most likely. So if I can take this computer, won't game, but it's fine. I have other things like Steam Deck and whatever, and this can kind of game, so it works. But I wouldn't ideally want to use it. So yeah. All right. See ya.